Hi, I'm Nicholas Schneider, here with another update on LNG shipping markets. In today's video, I'll talk about the current market, which remains largely unchanged from last quarter, and also take this opportunity to talk about our long-term view of LNG shipping out to 2020. Similar to last quarter, the amount of LNG traded globally hasn't increased much over the same time last year. In fact, total imports to date in 2015 are about 1% lower than during the same period of 2014. While imports into Europe have increased strongly by about 25% year over year due to cold weather at the start of the year and more attractive LNG pricing, this has been offset by lower imports in Asia, including Japan, China, and especially in South Korea, where mild weather and an increase in power production from coal and nuclear power has resulted in LNG imports decreasing by about 14% year over year. While LNG trade hasn't grown this year, the size of the fleet has increased by about 3% since the start of the year in total capacity. As a result, short-term charter rates remain around $30,000 per day for modern vessels, and we expect these weaker rates to continue through the rest of the year, gradually improving from 2016 onwards as new export supply comes online in Australia and the United States. Looking longer term, the International Energy Agency has recently forecasted that LNG trade will grow to about 350 million tons per year in 2020. And this is about a 50% increase over the 239 million tons that was traded in 2014. The amount of export capacity is also continuing to increase to meet this long-term demand. Recently, Cheniere Energy took a positive final investment decision on 3 new export trains in the U.S. Gulf. This includes 2 trains at their Corpus Christi project and 1 expansion train at their Sabine Pass export project. As a result, the total capacity of export trains now in construction is about 140 million tons per year. And by our estimate, this will be enough LNG to meet demand in 2020. Therefore, we don't foresee that there is much room left in the market for further projects to take a final investment decision for startup by 2020. While there are a number of projects proposed in Canada and East Africa, for startup by 2020, we think that these projects will get pushed into the period after 2020, although we do foresee a number of projects eventually coming online in this region to meet the long-term growth of LNG demand out to 2025. In summary, given weak growth in LNG trade this year and a small increase in the size of the LNG fleet, we expect short-term charter rates to remain weak through the rest of this year. However, in the long term, we anticipate LNG trade increasing by about 50% by 2020, and this will require a substantial increase in the size of the LNG vessel fleet, and in addition will require further orders in addition to the current order book. That's all for today's update. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next quarter with another update.